Hello from LoveLitCon in San Diego. She's been writing love stories her entire life, but her publishing journey started 10 years ago. Smart, sweet, sassy rom-coms are her thing. I'm here now with Brittany Larsen.
Hi.
Welcome to Narratives and Nightcaps.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, of course. How's LoveLitCon been so far?
It's been a lot of fun. I've had a great time.
How was the signing yesterday?
It was great. It was great. Yeah, I'm close to Lana Ferguson.
Okay.
I don't know which way to pronounce it. And Catherine Center. So, I mean, they're like, anyway, I'm kind of kitty corner to both of them.
You had the cutest setup.
Oh, thank you.
That entire pavilion, though, is unbelievable and amazing views.
I know. I feel like I haven't even been over to the other side. I haven't been very far, but I have the best view. I'm like right there overlooking the harbor, and it was gorgeous yesterday.
I was blown away by that. So very, very cool. What a neat experience for you and all the authors. Let's start with a little this or that game,
okay,
which is like one of my favorites for a romance book. I'm like, yes, this sounds so good. Okay, character-driven or plot-driven stories?
Character.
Coffee or tea?
Ooh, tea.
Okay, what's your go-to?
I do a lot of herbal teas, but I do love a good chai tea latte.
I love a good chai tea latte.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get that from my mom because she can barely make it through a day without one.
Really?
Yeah. Friends to lovers or second chance romance?
Oh gosh. Ooh. Second chance. I feel like every single one of my rom-coms there's some kind of second chance there. Friends to lovers is kind of hard to write. But I'm writing one of those right now.
Ooh, okay. We need to come back to that then.
Okay.
Okay. Don't let me forget. Roommate romance or sports romance?
Roommate. I know nothing about sports. I mean, except for surfing now. But I discovered surfing. I mean, I didn't discover it. But I learned about it when writing my latest series. And I totally fell in love.
So do you surf now?
I have surfed once in my life. I have lived in California for really a long time. I'm not going to say how long because then you'll know how old I am. But I've never tried surfing until I went to Portugal in June, and I had written my surf romance. I'm like, I have to try surfing.
You have to.
And I live 25 minutes from the beach. But I traveled across the world to try surfing, and it was a lot of fun. And I don't know if I'll ever do it again. It's very hard. But
did you actually stand up?
I stood up. I'm going to call it standing up. Okay. Other people might not call it standing up, but yeah, like for half a second or so. So, yes.
I've never tried it. I don't know if I ever will.
You know what? I don't think you have to try it to love it.
Okay.
To love watching it.
Oh, I think it's amazing.
Right?
Yeah, I do. I love watching it, just like I love watching people snowboard and ski.
Uh-huh. I do love to ski.
I've attempted it one time in my life. It was the most embarrassing couple of hours of my life. It was a very humbling experience, both emotionally and physically.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes.
And although I say all this and I would maybe attempt it again.
You really do have to try more than once.
But it was brutal.
Unless I grew up skiing because I grew up in Idaho and my family skied. But my husband grew up in Las Vegas. And there is actually a place you can ski and snowboard there. His brother snowboards, but he did not ski. And I have taken him skiing. And in order for us to stay married, I ski by myself, and he does not. We've given up trying to share that sport because he's kind of like a giraffe on skis. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I have a lot of respect for him for even just going and trying to tackle it by himself because that was also me. And yeah, it was interesting. It was very, very interesting. I may or may not have cried. It's fine.
Yes, I've taken my daughters, and one of them had to be, picked up by ski patrol and taken down the mountain. The other one should have been, but I told ski patrol to move along, and then we spent another 2 hours on the mountain. And yeah, so I don't take them skiing anymore.
But you're here today, so everyone made it.
Yes.
Okay, fake dating or brother's best friend?
Fake dating.
Love. Early morning writing or late night?
Oh gosh. So early morning. And yes, I've recently discovered that that's when I need to write. And by early morning, I mean 7, 8 a.m., maybe 9. I have friends who write at 4, 5 a.m. And that's not me.
Yeah. But again, a lot of respect for that. Book club vibes or reading at home?
Book club vibes for sure. I'm in 3 book clubs.
Oh my goodness.
Or 2.5. Or, yeah.
What's one book that one of your book clubs is reading right now?
Oh, so this was my choice, so I have to finish it. Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. And a lot of people love it. She's a very it won all kinds of awards, and it's February, so it's Black History Month. She's a Black author, but I'm struggling. It's set in California. It was written in the 90s, set in California in 2025, 26, so right now, and it's maybe this dystopian future that she thought of in the 1990s is maybe hitting a little too close to home.
Oh no.
So yes, it's a very good book, but I just bought a Catherine Center book. I'm definitely going to have to.
You're like, I need a palate cleanser.
Yes.
Oh.
So yes, that's the book I'm reading this month for the book club I've been in for over 20 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, it's so fun.
That's
Love
so
it.
cool. Okay, last one. Historical romance or rom-com?
I should say rom-com. I love historical romance.
So do I. And don't get me wrong, I love rom-coms, but I love a historical romance.
Yeah, and I have a half of a Western written, and someday I'll go back to it. It's really, it's fun. But I love writing rom-coms.
Yeah.
And I love watching them. I love reading them. But I think historical romance is my first love.
Is there a time period that you gravitate toward when it comes to reading? Like when you're reading a historical romance?
Westerns. I mean, I love Jane Austen.
Yeah.
I named my daughters after English literature, characters from English literature. So I love Regency, Jane Austen, but I really gravitate toward Westerns.
Fun. Yeah. Okay. Well, I love all of the above, so I'm right there with you. Okay, let's talk about you. And I kind of want to go back to the beginning of when did you know that you wanted to be an author, and what has the journey looked like for you?
I started writing stories when I was a kid, and in 8th grade I wrote a story that got to go to a competition in Pocatello, Idaho, which was kind of a big deal. It didn't win, and it was actually a mystery, and the big clue was something about the character's name was spelled backwards or something. It was maybe an easy mystery to figure out. And it's the only mystery I've ever written. But I think I always thought about being a writer. I became an English teacher. I taught high school for a little while. And then I didn't really start writing until my youngest daughter started kindergarten.
Okay.
And then, I don't know. I met someone who was releasing her first book, and I always wanted to I wanted to write I read a lot of literary fiction, and so that's what I wanted to do. I need to write this deep, award-winning stuff. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, And this friend was Melanie Jacobson. I met her and she was just publishing her first rom-com, and I read it. I'm like, oh, well, this would be fun to do. So that's how I got started. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to write a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, a contemporary retelling. So that's what I did. And that actually I started with Persuasion, and that book didn't get published, but my Pride and Prejudice story did get published. And I published 3 contemporary romances, Jane Austen retellings, with a small press, and then I decided to do indie. Actually, then I was like, okay, I'm going to write this Western and write more kind of, deeper stuff. And then I started writing indie romances with actually Melanie Jacobson, Jenny Proctor, and Becca Wilhite. And then I kept doing it. I kind of went back and forth. I was thinking about going back into teaching, and that didn't work out. So I'm like, I'm just going to write full time. And what I found with writing rom-coms is that they bring people a lot of hope. That love story, like Catherine Zenner was saying in her keynote yesterday, they bring people, love stories bring people hope, and they're about connection, right? That's what I try and do in all of my books is you feel this connection between the characters, but I want my readers to also feel connected. And that's what is so important to me is human connection. That's what I try to bring out in my stories. And I think love stories, rom-coms with humor, I like to laugh. I like humor. So, and I want to make people laugh because we need to laugh. There's a lot of hard stuff. And so hope, connection, laughter. That's what I want my readers to feel when they're reading.
You're hitting on everything I wanted to talk to you about. And it's interesting because a couple of times yesterday I was talking to people and we were saying, it's different when you're here at an event like this where we all came for the romance literature and the different subgenres of that. But outside of this space, sometimes the romance genre is very much underestimated.
Yeah.
And sometimes even looked down upon.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think it's the people that haven't necessarily been exposed to it, read much of it. And yeah, because there's so much light in all of that, and whether it's you're reading it because you need a palate cleanser,
right,
or an escape of some sort, or I was talking to someone who writes romantasy a couple of months ago, and we just said, in the world right now where it can feel very dark, at the end of the day, we all want to be loved in some way, or want a connection in some way, and romance books can really help that and be there for somebody.
And connection and love is not just a want, it's a human need.
For sure.
Right? And so, yeah, I mean, I feel that as a romance writer, but I've also put that on myself that, romance is not, it's that's not hard to, it's not the big, important literature. But I've totally done a 180. It is the big, important literature. And it is literature because of the connection and love. And story is so important. I think one thing about being a reader and a writer that is so beneficial is you learn empathy, and you learn that more with romance, I think, than any other genre, because there is the happily ever after. I think that's so important that we know people have their flaws, their wounds, but we see those as wounds, as part of their stories and part of being human, right? And I think romance helps us see people's stories on the page, but also in real life. And that's so important because we're where there's so much of dialing people down to issues and problems rather than just humans with a story.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so well said. And there's our episode. That's the message we want everybody to have about this.
No, oh, good.
That's so well put. I do want to talk about some of your books.
Okay.
And so I'm going to switch gears here and talk Christmas with you, which is totally fine in my, like, I'll talk Christmas all year long. I think it's because I love the holidays.
Yeah.
So follow La La Land, your most recent release, and the third in your Love in LA series. Can you tell us what this one is about?
Oh, this one was so fun to write. So it's about a rock star who he's Australian, but he wrote a song, Fa La 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 Land, and then he got picked up by a major label, and because he was like a teen star already on a TV show, they gave him this song to sing, and he sang it, and it got kind of big. So then they're like, oh, let's transition him to a teen idol. And so they took this song that was kind of close to his heart, and they made it more poppy and generic, and it's super famous, and he hates it. And he's at this point in his life where he's like, he doesn't feel authentic. And so and his name is Reese. I guess I can call him by his name. And so Stella comes in, and she's his social media manager. So she's trying to rehab his reputation because he's had some kind of bad moments on stage where he's gotten mad at fans, and because he feels so boxed in this identity created by the label. And so she helps him kind of get to his authentic self and be okay being that person in public, and being okay with not being loved by everybody, just being himself. But she also learns that same thing, that she can't, kind of cover up she has to walk into her emotions also, and not just try to run from them or ignore them. So it was, and then there's all the Christmas stuff
of course
thrown in, and it's super fun because my first Christmas book I wrote is in my Love in Paradise Valley series, and she is actually in that book. She's the sister of the MMC in that book. So you see her show up there, but you also see all this fun Christmas stuff they do in this small town in Idaho. So I have Reese and Stella go back to this town, and there's really, like, people have loved the epilogue in this book and the bonus epilogue. It brings them to tears, like happy tears, because her dad died when she was a baby. And I don't want to give it away, but she gets these letters from her dad delivered by Santa every Christmas Eve. Yeah, I know, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. And I didn't have that idea going in, but when I got to the end, I'm like, oh, this is how I'm going to bring this all around. And people love the ending, and they love that it goes back to Paradise, Idaho, and this rock star gets to experience this small town Christmas. And anyway, it's super fun.
Oh my gosh, it sounds absolutely delightful. And I'm the type of person, I know this is a hot take, but I'll read holiday romance books all year long. Like,
You go, girl.
I'm like, well, sometimes I'm like, I just need a little Christmas spirit.
Right.
And a little holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Like, what's so wrong with
that? I don't think you have to wait until July. I mean, we've got Christmas in July now. You don't have to wait until November, December. You read those whenever you want.
I remember, this was a couple years ago, but I was the ARC for an indie author for a Christmas romance that she had coming out. And so the ARC team was reading it in June and July.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, you're reading a holiday from, I was like, yes, I am. And it's great.
Okay. First of all, whoever that author is, all the props for having her Christmas book done in June. Because I sent my ARC to my readers in, I think it was October, early November. And then I published it the next week. So,
Wow. Oh my goodness. That sounds like a whirlwind, but in the best way.
yes.
Okay, for Follow La La Land and because of our podcast, if you were to pair a beverage with this book, what would you pair?
Oh, okay. I have to think about that. Oh. I mean, I've got to say hot chocolate because it's Christmas. I'm trying to remember. I know there are drinks in that book because there's a coffee shop called Frothed that is in all of the Love in LA books. So there's special, and I'm not a coffee drinker. So I also learned a lot about coffee, coffee and surfing, writing these books. But flat whites show up a lot.
Okay.
In my Love in LA series. But let's just say hot chocolate because that's a good Christmas drink. Stella likes it with, she actually keeps candy canes all year long. I just remembered this. Her grandma gave her this special hot chocolate recipe. So she makes it with like good chocolate. I mean, it's not like it's not a powder mix. So she makes it, but then she puts a candy cane in it and stirs it. So yes, that drink. And then lots of whipped cream on top.
Touch of peppermint with
Yes.
the candy cane.
Yes.
Well, when you said hot chocolate, I was like, ooh, and a touch of peppermint would make
Yes,
that.
yes. I had totally forgotten. This is like,
Okay.
you move on to the next book as an author.
For sure.
And it's like these details, they
No.
disappear.
Then you have like recovered memories.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, wait. Yes, so
That's-
hot chocolate, peppermint stick, tons of whipped cream.
And as we're talking, it is still winter, so we can go ahead and
Yes,
like
it is winter in some places.
It's completely
outside of
outside.
California,
Yes.
Florida.
right. Yeah, not for us, but for
Right,
everybody
right.
else.
Even Utah, I was there recently. They're not having winter
I
this
was
year.
just talking to someone here who's like, we have no snow.
No, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it's, yes. Anyway.
okay. Between the Love in LA series, Love in Paradise Valley, Creekville Kisses Too, and your standalones, all of the above, are there any themes you haven't explored yet and are still wanting to?
Oh, you know what? You said brother's best friend. I don't think I've ever written a brother's best friend.
Would you want to?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, something about those stories, it's funny because my co-host and I were talking about it one day, and we're both the oldest daughter.
Same.
So
Same.
we're like, I don't know if it has something to do with that.
I think
where we
so.
like didn't have the older brother.
Exactly. Like my sister, who is the youngest, she could write this story because my two brothers are her older brothers, and they were protective of her. With me, they were like, well, you can take care of yourself.
Yeah, you're older.
Yeah.
So-
Your job is to take care of us.
Exactly. Yeah, I have younger siblings, so I'm always like, so I think that's part of it.
I
Why
think so.
I'm always kind of intrigued by those stories. 'Cause I'm like, oh, well,
So Dizzy in Love, and this is not, I'm just going to tell you, it's not the trope people want. I did, her best friend falls for her brother.
okay.
So that's not as exciting.
I mean, I still like that though.
Yeah.
The friend brother situation,
Yes.
that always has some complexities
Yeah,
there.
she tries to warn her away from her brother. And anyway.
It's funny, as I was putting those together earlier, I actually thought about that one. I was like, oh, I'll throw that in there, but then I didn't. Okay, but you are working on another project. What can you share about that?
Oh, this one is, so my Love in LA series, there's 4 characters who are these Australian surfers who came to America to be on this TV show, Surf City High. It's kind of like a, I guess, high school musical sort of thing, except they don't sing, except Reese does sing.
Except for the one.
Except for the one. So there's Dex, who's now a pro surfer. There's Archie, who is a billionaire, but not really. And then Reese, who's the rock star, and now Frankie, who is Archie's twin sister. She's getting her story, and she is an actor in hiding. She's hiding out in this little small town in California. She's had some bad press and some hard things happen, so she just wanted to get away from Hollywood and kind of hide out. She's hiding out kind of from her ex-husband and her dad. It's not an abusive thing. She just, like, emotionally she doesn't want to deal.
Need some space.
Yes. And she meets a cowboy. I mean, he's a vet, but he lives on a ranch. And I'm having a really good time. So that's it. They are friends. He's a single dad. You got to have a single dad, right? And yeah, I'm having so much fun writing it. She's working at this kind of 50s diner where they wear beehive wigs, and it's called Flamingos. There's flamingos all over, and it's just really fun. It's really fun.
Oh, it sounds so cute. I can't wait. Can't wait.
It's adorable.
Amazing.
I'm just gonna brag.
No.
But it's, I'm a quarter of the way in. It's adorable so far. Ask me tomorrow, and I will probably hate this story.
Oh my gosh. No, but I think that we say that a lot about too for maybe not rom-coms or anything, but you can always feel when the author had emotion behind what they were writing, whether that's something that brought us to tears, or if you're having that much fun writing it, then I can only imagine how much fun we're going to have reading it.
Yeah,
too.
I hope so.
So
And
I think that's like 100% the case.
And I hope there will be some relationship healing. I don't hope that. I'm going to make that happen. I'm in charge.
You control that.
But I think that's important too. Like, family relationships are hard, but they're also the most important in our lives. And sometimes those relationships are just not, it's better that they not continue in really bad situations. But hopefully you can make those relationships work. But it does take work.
Yeah.
Right?
All relationships do.
All of them. Yeah.
Every single one, especially if skiing and snowboarding are involved.
Exactly.
We kind of touched on this, but just to kind of like round out what we were talking about, the romance genre, what do you hope your readers take away most from reading your books?
Let's go back to hope. I hope they take away hope. I hope, can I use hope more? I want them to feel like connection is a possibility, that love is a possibility, and that it doesn't just happen. You do have to work at it. You have to love. You have to be vulnerable and be willing to connect. And that is sometimes really hard. And vulnerability is not an emotion that's easy.
No.
That we don't want to feel that. But you have to be willing to, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to feel and be in those hard emotions so that you can experience all the great emotions. There's that yin and yang, right? Those opposites, you need them both.
Absolutely. For listeners and readers, where is the best place for them to connect with you and learn more about all of your books?
Let's see, Instagram. My handle is Brittany Larsen Books. You can go to my website. I'm not always good about updating it. I think it's updated now, but that's the best place to get my audiobooks, the ones that I've produced, because that's where you'll generally find them the least expensive. So that's BrittanyLarsenBooks.com. You can find all of my books on Amazon. Most of them are in KU. All but my 3 standalones, Her Last First I Love You, The Royal's Enemy, and Just One Look. They're on Amazon. You can get them on Kindle. They're just not in KU. But they're going to be available in one more place sometime soon. You will find out more about that if you follow me on Instagram. Also my Facebook readers page. That's Brittany Larsen Books, Readers and Fans. I have an author page, and I have the reader and fan page. Community. And that's where I do more community stuff.
Very cool. We'll be sure to link to all of that in the podcast notes.
Great,
so
thank
people
you.
can easily find it. Brittany, this was so much fun.
It was so fun to be here, Brie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was my last interview, and you just summed up what this entire con has been. So I really appreciate it.
Well, I just loved chatting with you.
Me too. Stay in touch.
I will. I'm following you on Instagram. So.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks so much for listening. The Narratives and Nightcaps podcast is a production of The Craft Co. with intro music created by Remington Haynes.
Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow at Narratives and Nightcaps on Instagram or visit our website, narrativesandnightcaps.com.
Sign up for our newsletter to always know what we're reading next, which authors are joining us on the show, and for extra bookish and beverage info.
Connect with our additional co-hosts, Jordan and Emily, as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Cozy Reads and Sips.
And you can find me on Instagram at books.bottles.
Cheers!
Cheers!